Early 239 AD. After a long wait on the hospital bed, Wei-Ming Emperor Qiao Rui, the day comes when the fire of life is about to go out. On this day, he will also serve for the empire after his death, make an extremely important arrangement. For the sake of political stability, Qiao Rui will take charge of the affairs of the empire and the young emperor. A calm and reliable minister. This is every emperor. When faced with similar situations, decision will be made. The candidate in Qiao Rui's mind is Sima Yi, a smart and wise person, moreover, a minister from a noble family. Qiao Rui thinks, only Sima Yi, only in this chaotic world can we preserve the glory of the Wei dynasty. But this emperor known for his wise decisions. What I never expected was that my last words completely changed the fate of Wei state. It also foreshadowed the end of the history of the Three Kingdoms. Sima Yi, famous nobles in Hanoi. Because at the end of the Han Dynasty, when Cao Cao took power, it mainly relies on pragmatic talents with clear knowledge of economics and laws. The noble clan represented by Sima Yi, always depressed. However, a noble surname has an influence that cannot be ignored. After Qiao Bu came to power, he changed his father's approach of attacking the nobles. Policies tilted towards the upper echelons of the gentry. Sima Yi and other nobles began to be reused. The status gradually becomes prominent, but the cornerstone of Qiao Wei's rule was quietly shaken. Sima Yi began to stand out from his peers. It was during the era of Emperor Ming Qiao Rui. He led his army to resist Shu's northern expedition. He also pacified Gongsun Yuan, who was separatist in Liaodong, with great military exploits and a pure and noble family background, became one of the most powerful ministers in Wei state. The influence of the Sima family, a rising tide lifts all boats, gradually began to control the situation of the DPRK. After the death of Emperor Ming Qiao Rui, Sima Yi and his clan member Qiao Shuang shared the posthumous edict, assist young master, began to exclude Sima Yi. He recommended Sima Yi as Taifu. In fact, it was to remove Sima Yi from his right to lead the army, rising brightly and falling darkly. Sima Yi did not compete with Qiao Shuang for short periods of time, but keep a low profile and bide your time. Bide your time. In order to paralyze Qiao Shuang, when others come to visit you, pretend to be deaf and blind, even when others are serving you porridge, deliberately spilling rice water on his clothes. In the first year of Jiaping, AD 249, Qiao Shuang accompanied Emperor Qiao Feng visit the mausoleum of Emperor Wei Ming in the suburbs of Luoyang, Jiapingling. At this time Qiao Shuang, satisfied, high spirits, but didn't expect Sima Yi in the city. The disguise of an old man has faded away. I'm sharpening my sword and getting ready for a mutiny. Qiao Shuang lacks adaptability. Gao Yangwan's children received news of Sima Yi launching a coup outside the city. After blocking news about Luoyang City, immediately panicked. He has a lot of troops in hand. After a night of thinking, decided to surrender to Sima Yi. However, his weakness yielded. There is no chance of living a mediocre life. After he disarmed, Soon he was killed by Sima Yi. The Sima family monopolized power in the DPRK. This is the famous one in history. Incident of Jayapingaling. But Sima's exclusive power has aroused dissatisfaction among some local forces. In Huainan area, there were 3 military actions against the Sima clan, known as the 3 rebellions in Huainan in history. First, the rebellion started by Taiwei Wangling. Sima Yi led his troops to conquer. Wangling finally begged for surrender and was forced to death by Sima Yi. Sima Yi also died of illness after returning to the army in victory. In later generations, some people even thought that it was Wangling's wronged soul who demanded his life. The second time, after Sima Yi died, Sima sure holds power. 254 years. Master Sima suspected that Xiaofang was trying to get rid of him, so he deposed him and made Xiaomao the emperor. Next year, Mu Qiujian and Wen Qin raised troops to attack Sima division. This is the second rebellion in Huainan. Sima sure fell ill and went to war. As a result, Qiujian was killed. Wen Qin surrendered to Sun Wu. Master Sima also died soon after returning to the court. He then handed over military power to his younger brother Sima Zhao. Huainan General Zhuge Dan united with Su Chao. Rebellion again. Sima Zhao led his troops to conquer. Due to lack of reinforcements from Su Chao, Zhuge Dan was trapped in the isolated city, finally defeated and killed. None of his hundreds of men surrendered. All followed Zhuge Dan and died. The failure of these 3 mutinies declared the overall decline of the pro-Chao forces in North Korea and China. Sima family, paving the way for him to eventually usurp the throne. Supporters of Cao. Successive military rises failed. After the Sima family became full-fledged, Emperor Xiaomao deeply felt the threat. Now is the time to make one last stand. He wants to bet his life. Take back your imperial dignity. Then, facing the courtiers, he said that eternal saying. Sima Zhao's heart is known to all passers-by. Xiaomao immediately made a decision. Personally led troops to attack Sima Zhao. Sima Zhao quickly got the news. When the emperor leads, palace guards and armed eunuchs. When arriving at the east gate of the palace, I found that everything has been prepared here. The heroic spirit of our ancestors, inspiring the young emperor to move forward bravely. However, greet him. It's the prince's life-threatening spear that sacrificed his life to save others. Cold iron blade penetrated the young emperor's chest. The majestic emperor. He died in front of his own palace. Sensation in Luoyang City. Subsequently, Sima Zhao killed Chengji. To seal everyone's mouth, he appointed Chao Huang, the son of King Chao Yu of Yin, as emperor, and renamed the new emperor Chao Huan. Sima Zhao used the emperor's name to send the message that you want to change the government. Tell the world clearly. In order to usurp Chao Wei's kingdom, Sima Zhao knew that he still had an important task. That is to make an immortal contribution. Only then can he show to the world that he is destined by destiny. His chosen target is located in Western continent. They also frequently harass the Shu Han at the border. At the same time, what is the situation like in Shu Kingdom in the southwest? Then, Zhuge Liang has passed away. Then Lord Lu Chan got close to the villain. The government has become extremely corrupt. Jiang Wei is the only one who can become the barrier of Shu. Lu Chan was also suspicious of him. Then, Sima Zhao adopted a strategy of attacking in the east and attacking in the west. Ad 265. He first ordered various places to build large floating sea ships, preparing to cross the river to defeat Wu. And in the autumn of the same year, but he appointed Deng Ai and Zhuge Su to lead the army to attack Shu. At the same time, Zhong Hui, then General Jinshi, also took action, confronting Jiang Wei and Jiang E. Deng Ai showed his genius as a tactician at this time. He sneaked into Yinping, leading the army on the treacherous Shu Road, a forced march of more than 700 miles. Drilling through the mountains, suddenly appeared on the Chengdu plain like a heavenly soldier. The soldiers of the Shu army were unable to react quickly. Zhang Yu guard Ma Miao surrendered. Zhuge Liang's son Zhuge Zhan died in battle at Mianzhu. Deng Ai led his army to the city of Chengdu quickly. Lu Chan, the later master, followed Xiao Zhou's suggestion, surrender out of the city. Shu fell. Sima Zhao destroys Shu, promoted to the title of King of Jin, but just one step away from the emperor's throne. He fell ill and died. His son Sima Yin succeeded him as King of Jin. Ad 265. King Sima Yin of Jin forced Emperor Yuan of Wei to abdicate. Proclaim yourself emperor. The country's name is Jin, capital Luoyang. It's for the Western Jin dynasty. After Sima Yin ascended the throne, he also followed his grandfather Sima Yi, uncle Sima Shi. Father Sima Zhao became emperor. This practice of posthumously honoring ancestors, in a way that is most consistent with the records of Confucian classics, honoring ancestors, it just shows that the Sima family came from a noble family. He is a loyal Taoist priest who restores the famous Confucian religion. Next, Sima Yin also infected clans and became kings on a large scale. He thinks the reason why the Chao family's regime fell into the hands of the Sima family, it's because the clan is weak. Then, with the encouragement and support of the founding king, close branches of the Sima family have great power. This also laid the foundation for the demise of the Western Jin dynasty. At this time, the political situation in Suqiao has also reached a dead end. Sun Hao, Lord of Wu, was cruel and unkind. Heavy labor and taxes made the people miserable. Sun Hao was tortured by gouging out his eyes, sawing his head, peeling off his face, etc. Punish minister. Inside the Suqiao ruling group, I also fell into a situation of eccentricity. The demise of Shu Han. This also caused Wu state to lose its upstream barrier. Jin could have taken advantage of right mind, right place, right people, and the right people of unified China. However, due to the struggle for power within the empire, personnel strife, more than 10 years later, the Jin army launched a massive attack on Wu. Jin Army Commander Wang Qian led the navy, going down the river from Bashu, and achieved successive victories. This caused Wu's monarchs and ministers to lose the courage to resist. When Wang Qian led his army to Jinkong, the capital of Wu state, what I saw when I looked up, it's the descending flags erected on the city wall. This is true. Wang Jun's boat trip to Ezhou. The king of Jinling lost his energy sadly. Qinshuan Iron Lock sinks to the bottom of the river. A falling flag emerges from the stone. This year, that is 280 AD. Sun Hao, Lord of Wu, surrendered. The fall of Suqiao. Shibu ended the development since the end of the Eastern Han Dynasty. Warlord melee situation completed the unification of the country, but this unified situation is short-lived and illusory. Sima Yan, who was born into a noble family, after completing the great cause of unification, satisfied. Under the leadership of the nobles headed by the Sima family, entering an era of flashy carnival. People regard luxury as a fashion. Take indulgence as chic. Enjoy this brief period of peace and prosperity. Ignore the ethnic minority warriors in the north. The horse has been fattened. Sharpen the scimitar. Looking at the ground. Watch every move of the Central Plains nobles. The end of the three-point world. The Western Jin dynasty unified China. This is not the end of a turbulent era, but a more turbulent era. A moment of peace before arrival. People of insight feel. This huge Jin empire. A huge crisis is brewing. The northern ethnic minorities are waiting for help. We'll be involved in this historical stage with blood and fire. Conflict between ethnic groups will last through hundreds of years of fighting and iron horses. And within the Han people, the strife between aristocratic families and surnames. It has also been accompanied by the struggle between Hu and Han, constantly lingering in the sky over the land of China. Then, palace intrigue, battlefield competition, became the mainstream of this era. Sons of Hu and Han, heroes from the north and the south, will use their wisdom and passion in the torrent of the coming era. Composing the history of China, this extremely gorgeous piece of music